30 years ago, inclusion of Latinos in corporate America was an afterthought. Didn't exist.
We ourselves didn't have a voice at the table.
My predecessor, Raul Izaguirre, it was his vision that we have an entity that would solely focus on building partnerships on behalf of the community with the corporate sector.
It was a little slow moving. There were some kinks that occurred, but our founders and the rest of the board did a really good job of bringing it forward.
HACR had been set up, it had been going on for a couple of years, and they had about 6, 8 corporate members, but it was still tough talking to corporations about Hispanics. I got in touch with the companies that were partners, and I asked them, would you recommend us to other companies? And corporate people, as you know, as polite as they could be, told me, frankly, they would not. Of course, I asked them why. They said, look, you got to bring value to a corporation. Corporate America was ready. We really weren't. The corporation said, let's meet every year. And then, in order to give them visibility, they became best practice presenters. If you have a strong community and you position yourself to set standards for other organizations or institutions in a society, you become the rule maker for them if they want to play in your game, but it's your game. And if it makes sense, then other people begin to respect it.
I came to HACR in 1999, and we were basically building on the foundation that Rick Bella had laid. It was a small organization still. First we grew. We went from a couple $100,000 a year to a couple million. We were also able to expand the number of corporate members participating and engaging with us. In terms of visibility, we were looking for ways of making HACR almost a household word or name. We were focused on best practices. How do we help corporations who have an interest in really engaging better with the Latino community achieve that? Let's define what are some of the challenges and what are some of the best strategies for getting that done. We evaluated them, and then we published a number of them in a series of best practices and really began to have a footprint. We also started a partnership with the Harvard Business School. We were looking for more ways of getting Latinos in the C-suite and in the boardroom. And in order to do that, we had to sort of combat this common perception or complaint that there wasn't a pipeline of talent.
Under Rick Bella, they created the corporate index. And so we revitalized that, we brought it back new, and that was important because data drives corporations. We created the Young Hispanic Corporate Achievers, the Corporate Executives Forum, and the Corporate Directors Summit, as well as the CEO Roundtable.
We're over 50 companies now, Fortune 500 companies. And the impact has been enormous in terms of the respect that corporate America is gaining for the Latino community.
Welcome to HACR. Please enjoy our open house.
Well, I've been associated with HACR for almost a decade. That came about through my introduction to Carlos Horta, and after I met him, we became members.
Here, my shout out to you during the LULAC Corporate Alliance. HACR does a phenomenal job with their index and their corporate reporting, but also bringing together so many different companies and industry partners.
We just love the partnership because we learn so much.
You know, it's a great sense that that as Hispanics we've arrived, and that everybody's recognizing that what we do, how we do it, when we do it, where we do it matters.
Well, I think being Hispanic has been cool since, like the 1400s. And then the 80s was our decade, and the 90s was our decade. So, eventually it was our decade, is our decade.
We've made good progress, but there is the need to stay focused and make sure that we continue to grow that circle of inclusion at the highest levels of our corporate sector partners.
Board membership is the toughest barrier to break. We were often told, look, A CEO is maybe more concerned about who's on his board than who marries his daughter. No, she can always divorce him. Getting rid of a board member is a little harder.
But that's why all the more reason you have to have an organization, like I said, to keep its shoulder to the wheel and its nose to the grind, and on a daily basis convey that message and raise that question of where is our community and your company.
We also need to be sure that corporate America understands that Hispanic diversity and business success is not mutually exclusive. You can have a strong Hispanic diversity program that can also be beneficial to your bottom line. I would like to envision that HACR, over these 30 years leading up to 2046, can look back and see the significant impact that we've had in terms of having a higher percentage of Hispanics on corporate boards, having a higher percentage of Hispanics in the C-suite, recognizing that there are very qualified Hispanic-owned businesses that corporations can conduct procurement, and understanding that corporations need to be good corporate citizens when it comes to philanthropy back into the community. And so we're going to be out there through our research and through advocacy making that case. We have a board of directors, many of whom have been on the board for many, many years through our coalition member organizations. We have an incredibly amazing staff that is deeply committed to our mission. So I'm very excited for what lies ahead, and we're going to keep moving forward.
Happy birthday, HACR! Happy 30th birthday, HACR!
Happy birthday, HACR!
Feliz 30 aniversario.
Feliz cumpleaños, HACR!
Happy birthday, feliz cumpleaños, HACR.